And now, the general weather around Alaska.
On the hazardous weather graphic board here, we've got a winter weather advisory out there for the eastern and Beaufort Sea coast of Kaktovik, Barter Island, and those areas up there until 9 p.m. this evening as west winds continue to gust to 35 miles per hour. And that'll create blowing snow, possibly reducing visibilities in areas to a half mile or less at times. Otherwise, warning, watch, and advisory free elsewhere around the state. So looking at satellite imagery, you can see moisture still flowing from south to north here and from southwest to northeast across the central and southern southeast coast. But areas of light snow here, Delta Junction, Eielson Air Force Base into Fairbanks today. So with these clouds here, there is some areas of light snow, and that extending down into the Talkeetna Mountains. Otherwise, not too bad. A lot of clouds, though, with maybe some light snow or flurries all the way up to the eastern Beaufort Sea coast. And then back to the west, clearer and colder with temperatures below zero this afternoon. Areas of the interior and up to the western Arctic coast area. In fact, all the Arctic coast north slope below zero, as well as the Brooks Range. Otherwise, northerly winds continue out here over the Bering Sea, and then the next front here pushing quite a cloud band in with gale force winds and rain pushing into the western Aleutians here, thickening and lowering clouds in toward Adak and eventually Atka. On the chart, there's that front back there to the west at midday today. Some rain, possibly as far east as Amchitka Island, but mainly from there westward. And lighter winds and drier conditions. Central Aleutians, as well as pretty fair here over the eastern Bering Sea with light winds. Comparatively light winds from what they've been. Still pretty gusty here out of the north through the Alaska Peninsula, creating rain and snow showers from about Unalaska eastward, mainly along the Bering Sea side of the Alaska Peninsula. Chignik, Sand Point, for example, dry. And some light snow flurries here over the Kuskokwim Delta to Aniak, for example, and areas just east of Bethel, but nothing significant. Otherwise dry with clearing, with that cold high pressure developing there over the western North Slope and Brooks Range. Then the areas of light snow here, as I mentioned, in the central interior, around actually extending a little farther than what I've got drawn here off to the southeast, all the way down to Delta Junction, and then clouds all the way up to the eastern Arctic coast. And for the eastern North Gulf Coast, rain falling at Yakutat this afternoon, temperature 40 degrees there, and rain and showers across the Panhandle. Ketchikan picking up about just under an inch here at 3 p.m. at the 12-hour period ending at 3 p.m. this afternoon. And for tonight, doesn't change much there. Showers and rain continue, mostly along the coast here for the Panhandle, a little drier over toward the border. And about the same pattern up here for the eastern North Gulf Coast. Variable clouds, but dry for south central Alaska. Areas of light snow now from the central and eastern Alaska range all the way up to the eastern Arctic coast. And clear and cold here, and winds not too bad, pretty light. Temperatures well below zero here over the western interior areas with fair conditions and light winds now into the Pribilof Islands down to the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutians as gale force winds and rain push into Adak and Atka. For tomorrow, that front slows down due to this slow developing and coming northward here, but some rain should edge in toward Nikolsky and maybe Dutch Harbor, but staying to the southwest of the Pribilofs there. Otherwise, high pressure, cold high pressure here, keeping temperatures well below zero up over the Arctic, up in the Arctic there to the coast and the North Slope, with cold temperatures and clearing skies here into the central interior, down into south central Alaska, and areas of snow from the Copper River Basin areas, mainly the central western Copper River Basin, and especially from the Alaska Range northward to the Arctic coast, continuing to see persistent light snow there. Dry over the central Panhandle. This low here keeps a chance of showers or light rain for the southern areas, and still some shower chances up there around Yakutat in toward Elfin Cove, but pretty light at this point. And then for the day on Sunday, those showers end here for the North Gulf Coast. Mostly dry over the northern Panhandle with clearing and increasing winds, and a little cooler there, blowing in on those northeast winds for the northern southeast coast. Less wind, maybe a few more clouds down to the south, but you can see dry all the way down into Dixon Entrance with the showers off the coast here. Some of those showers may reach the southern Kenai Peninsula, and some moisture spreading up from this front may spread some light rain into Kodiak Island. Otherwise, pretty quiet over the interior here with increasing winds, though, over the western interior into the northern Bering Sea, as this strong low tracks northeastward across eastern Aleutians early in the day, moving to this position by afternoon with gale force winds and rain may be heavy at times for the Alaska Peninsula, with rain and snow showers back to the west. And for the lows tonight, anywhere from 15 to 35 below here over the western interior, coldest back here in the northwest, and a little milder with the clouds and snow here over the east side. Lows lower 20s for the Pribilofs, lower 30s for the Aleutians, upper 20s for the eastern Aleutians, and single numbers here for the Bristol Bay area. Teens for south central Alaska, Copper River Basin, upper 20s for the northern Panhandle, elsewhere in the 30s. For the highs tomorrow, mid-30s northern southeast coast, lower 40s down to the south, and well below zero here from the Kuskokwim Valley northward up to the Arctic coast there and eastward in toward Arctic Village. Of course, milder conditions with the clouds and light snow, around zero for Fairbanks and 8 degrees for Eagle. Otherwise, for the lows of following morning, again, really cold air mass coming into the northern interior here with temperatures anywhere from 25 to 45 below for the North Slope and Arctic coast, and 25 to 45 below also south of the Brooks Range, with minus 30s, possibly all the way down to Nicolai and McGrath, and 0 to 5 above for Bristol Bay, near zero along the southwest coast, but lower 30s for the Pribilofs and the Aleutians. Lows upper 20s, Kodiak Island, and 5 to 15 for south central Alaska. Upper 20s for the northern Panhandle, lower 30s to the south. Highs staying below freezing here, those increasing north and northeast winds for the northern Panhandle, but lower 40s for the southern part of the area. Near 40 here for areas of the Alaska Peninsula. Highs 15 to 28 for south central Alaska, warmest down toward Homer and Soldovia, with highs staying below zero for the Copper River Basin, well below zero north of the Alaska Range out to the Arctic coast.